Welcome to Mystery Decode. Today, we journey back 2,800 years to a forgotten empire in southern Italy. A civilization of giants that rose from the waves only to be swallowed by time. We are delving into the Greek influence on Magna Grecia, a tale of shipwrecks, ambition, and empires. Beyond the myths lies a reality more staggering than any legend. This is the story of how a group of pioneers transformed a wild coastline into a thriving civilization. This is the story of Magna Grecia, a legacy that shaped the Roman world and our own. Chapter 1: The Arrival. The year is the 8th century BC, and the world is about to change. A Greek ship scrapes its way into the shallows, overloaded with the weight of an entire culture. Families huddle together, looking at the rugged coastline that will soon be their new home. Every creak of the hull spoke of the uncertainty that lay ahead. The men jump into the shallow water, dragging the heavy hull before the surf can crash against it. They carry jars of grain, tools of iron, and the sacred fire from their distant mother cities. They brought the tools of survival, the seeds of a new civilization. In the darkness, only the sounds of distant dogs and the whispers of the wind can be heard. These early Greeks were not just settlers, they were pioneers in a land they barely understood. They felt the earth, tasting the salt in the air of a land that promised everything. They would name this land Magna Grecia, Greater Greece, a name that would endure for centuries. But before the empire rose, there was a question that haunted every man on those ships. Chapter 2: The Greeks' Gamble. Why did they take such a risk? Why build here? Their homeland was becoming crowded, the soil exhausted, and the political climate unstable. Resources were scarce, and the old world was beginning to suffocate its own children. Returning to their mother cities seemed like the safer option, a return to the familiar. But the West offered something the East could no longer provide: the promise of a new life. It was a mix of desperate necessity and the burning ambition to create something legendary. Every city they founded was a gamble, a bet against the unknown forces of this new land. They faced storms of the sea and storms of the spirit, but they pressed on. The gamble paid off. They didn't just survive, they began to thrive in ways they never imagined. With the gamble secured, the floodgates opened. The real expansion was about to begin. Chapter 3: The Birth of Magna Grecia. The 8th century BC saw a tidal wave of settlers. Greek settlers crossed the Ionian Sea, carving out pieces of the coast for their new kingdoms. They founded cities along the Italian coast, each one a jewel in the crown of Magna Grecia. Taros became a military stronghold, its harbor filled with the might of the Greek navy. Sybaris was synonymous with luxury, a city of immense wealth and legendary prosperity. And Neapolis, the new city, became a beacon of Greek culture that would outlast the empire. These cities became bustling hubs, filled with the energy of trade, art, and innovation. They brought new ideas in architecture, science, and governance that the world had never seen. They literally reshaped the landscape with their ingenuity and ambition. The birth of Magna Grecia was the birth of a new era for the entire Mediterranean world. Chapter 4: The Euboeans. Among the very first pioneers were the sailors from Euboea, hailing from Chalkis and Eretria. These men were the vanguard of the westward expansion. They founded Pythagoras on the island of Ischia, a strategic post just off the coast of Naples. Ischia became a workshop for the world, where Greek craftsmanship met Italian resources. Soon, they crossed to the mainland and established Cumae, the first major Greek colony in Italy. Cumae was more than a city. It was a gateway for Greek culture to seep into the heart of Italy. The Euboeans brought their alphabet, a system of writing that would change the course of history. Every letter was a tool, a way to record history and law in a new land. This alphabet influenced the Etruscans, who lived to the north of the growing Greek settlements. And through the Etruscans, those Greek letters became the basis for the Latin alphabet we use today. Every word you read today is a distant echo of the Euboean sailors who landed on Ischia. But letters weren't the only thing the Greeks brought. Some brought the iron will of Sparta. Chapter 5. The Spartan Influence. Even the warriors of Sparta wanted a piece of Italy. Led by Phalanthus, a group of Spartan colonists set out to find a home beyond their borders. Legends tell of an oracle's riddle that guided them to the shores of the Gulf of Taranto. He founded the city of Taros, a place where Spartan discipline would meet Italian opportunity. Despite the harsh challenges, the Spartans laid the groundwork for a military and economic powerhouse. Taros became a city of soldiers and sailors, a prominent power in the south of Italy. Their architecture was a testament to their strength, built to last for thousands of years. The Spartan influence on Magna Grecia added a layer of iron to the culture of the region. Even today, the people of Taranto take pride in their Spartan roots and warrior heritage. Chapter 6. Rome's mythical origins. Could the Eternal City have Greek blood in its veins? A famous myth claims that Rome was founded by a Greek figure named Evander from Arcadia. While the myth of Evander is hard to prove, archaeological evidence tells a compelling story. The area was already home to settlements long before its legendary founding by Romulus. Greek artifacts have been found at the very heart of what would become the Roman Empire. Could there be some truth to the legend of a Greek presence at Rome's very beginning? The influence of Magna Grecia was felt in Rome long before the First Legion marched south. Chapter 7. The Power of the Cities. By the 6th century BC, the colonies were superpowers. Sybaris was a city of such luxury that its name became a synonym for pleasure and wealth. Croton was its rival, a city known for its athletes, its doctors, and its mysterious philosophers. Pythagoras made Croton his home, founding a school that blended math with mysticism. His teachings on harmony and the universe left a lasting impact on all of Western thought. These cities controlled the vital trade routes that connected the East with the untapped West. Their wealth was immense, their influence absolute, but with great power comes great envy. Chapter 8. The Decline. Even the brightest gold eventually loses its luster. Internal politics and bitter rivalries between the sister cities began to tear the region apart. Civil wars between cities like Sybaris and Croton weakened the very foundation of Magna Grecia. Meanwhile, to the north, the Roman Republic was growing, its eyes fixed on the wealthy south. By the 3rd century BC, many Greek cities had lost their independence to the rising Roman tide. The fall of Taros marked the end of an era. The Greek cities were now part of the Roman world. Chapter 9. The Absorption. Rome conquered the land, but Greece conquered the mind. Roman art, education, and religion were heavily influenced by the world they had just conquered. The very architecture of Rome was built on the foundations laid by the Greek architects of the South. Greek traditions in sculpture and art continued to shape Roman society for centuries to come. Roman theater was a direct descendant of the grand Greek dramas that started in Magna Grecia. The fusion of these two cultures created the Greco-Roman world that is the bedrock of our own. Chapter 10: The Lasting Legacy. The influence of Magna Grecia has never truly vanished. In places like Naples, Greek traditions remain strong well into the Roman Empire and beyond. The story of Magna Grecia is about the endurance of culture against the passage of time. Pockets of Greek-speaking communities still exist today in the deep south of Italy. They preserve a language and traditions that date back over 2,800 years. These traditions are not just remnants, they are a living link to the pioneers who landed on these shores. The coast of southern Italy still echoes with the whispers of the ancient Greek world. The stones themselves tell the story to anyone who knows how to listen. Nature and history have merged into a single, breathtaking legacy. Even the food on the table holds the flavors of a journey that began millennia ago. The rhythm of the South is a heartbeat that started in the ancient East. Magna Grecia is not just history, it is a part of the very fabric of our modern identity. Thank you for watching Mystery Decode. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be back with more untold stories from history soon. Until next time, keep uncovering the hidden truths of the past with Mystery Decode.